Akila Trinae, Cameron David, DJ Reed, Miss Roro, Dontrell Detroit, Key 77. This is U Nation Radio.
Monday night love session. Check us out. Generation. Slow jams. Conversation. Late night stimulation. Call in love session. Love session.
Monday night.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. U Nation Radio. This is Monday Night Love Sessions. I'm your girl, Akila Trinae, and we're so glad to have you here. I'm going to say it again so Chris understands what I just said. I'm your girl, Akila Trinae. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Now I feel special. And we're here for another edition of Monday Night Love Sessions. We have a good one tonight. I'm excited. I know the rest of the team is excited. We have a special guest that we're going to have on Skype, Miss Ayana Angel. We'll get more into that in just a moment. But without any further ado, we have to introduce the team. So, to my left, we have Miss Key 77.
Hey, it is I. Hello, good evening. I'm going to give the shout outs to the sponsors, okay? So it's my turn this time. I get the shout out to the sponsors. We're going to say Pitbull, good. Artistic Web, go ahead, Spider, work it out. And Black Line Entertainment, woo, woo, what?
Black Line. Let me just quickly make sure you go to iTunes and check out their mixtape. So I know we posted up there, but make sure you guys go download good music, hip hop music.
See,
check them out.
Breaking stuff like that.
No, that's old school hip hop.
Oh, they don't have the old school on there. I like old school hip hop. What's wrong with old school hip hop? Is that alright? Yeah. All right now. I guess it's all right. I'm going to have to pass it on over there. I'm going to pass it over there to Miss Roro, right? Yeah. How you doing? You back, girl?
Yeah. How you doing? Mushy. No, I'm just joking. How you guys doing today? Good?
Cool.
Good.
To my left-hand side is DJ Reed.
Yo.
Oh, you're
Where's your
the
Those were horns,
Yeah,
by the way.
I don't have it today. It's not ready. But yeah, you can go ahead, like us on Facebook, U Nation Radio, Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, UNation_radio, Instagram, U Nation Radio, YouTube, U Nation Radio TV, and we got a GoFundMe campaign going on. If you want to support U Nation Radio and help us out, go to the next level. You go to GoFundMe.com and search for U Nation Radio. Oh, and now I'm about to.
What's his name? You forgot his name?
No, I didn't forget his name.
Go ahead.
I'm about to kick it over to my boy, Detroit.
He did forget your name.
Yeah.
That's only because you were not here last week, right?
I was not.
You've been MIA.
I had to do your yeet.
Yeah, she always stole it.
I always stole it.
And she stole your breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Your little
breaks. How you be saying? You should want to hear one of my lines.
And Chris did a poem.
Oh my God.
It was bomb.
It's off the chain. Off the chain. But you want to hear my line? I said, save the season salt for the state, because we about to go on a break. That's tight, right? I'm tight, yo.
Shout out to the family and all the fam. Hey, we all impromptu on the show. Clearly. Thank you, Chris, for holding it down. But you can give us a call at 323-965-1600. Again, it is good to be back. I am Dontrell Detroit, and I have truly missed you all, especially you, Miss Roro.
Yeah.
How was our weekend?
It was good. How you say? What did we do this past weekend? Actually, just relax.
Relax, and then we had that talk show on Sunday.
Talk show, yeah. You missed
Yeah.
Did you like the talk show?
I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
How
The
was the
at
talk
my
show?
church.
Yeah.
It was actually really good, and it was the first time U Nation Radio was on
Somebody
the
else,
show
yeah.
to get interviews. So that
Yeah.
that was a
That
little
was awesome.
different.
That was fun.
You know, people were asking us the questions instead
Yeah.
of the other way around.
How did that go? How did that
And
feel?
well, let me just say this, because you know I'm always with the shirts and the shout outs and all of that. So Billionaire came through.
Yes, he did.
And-
He brought a rack.
He brought the whole store.
Two racks.
Males and females.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
but
guys come out
he knows how to lay everything out. He did it. I got this shirt. God's on my team. Who's on yours? I gotta make sure you know how.
Shout out to
Everybody see
Billionaire
it?
PA.
Billionaire PA. Wealthy Minds Entertainment.
And he did you right with the purple.
Yeah, you know I love purple, so you know I had to do
He
the
needs
shirt with the
sponsor.
purple and all of that. So check him out. His Instagram.
Billionaire PA.
Billionaire.
So back to the question and the talk show. How did
I
it
was
feel
nervous. I was nervous at first, but then after a while, I just
I was still.
I got a little comfortable.
You know, we got. You know, we're known. That's our church, so they know us by our names.
Right.
So we had the opportunity to get up there and say our radio names. Which was
and they had
hilarious
jokes.
because
Oh
they
my
had
gosh.
jokes for us about our radio names.
Was
Especially
so
about Miss
hilarious.
Akila Trinae over here. It
It's like,
it
oh, should I call you
the whole
Akila?
the whole day, the whole evening. It was like Akila Trinae. Oh, okay. You know, that was cool.
What about the funny dude? I know he
Yeah,
had
he was
something.
the one that was the host. He was the,
The
one
funny
that was
dude. The funny dude.
I never learned.
Reverend. But he was the host. It was awesome though.
Yeah, it was definitely. I wish I could have been there, but I was in church myself.
Well, at least
Yeah.
you were in,
Okay.
still praising God.
Yeah,
Hey.
there was a bunch of bishops in the house today. At
Bunch
Redeemer.
of bishops.
Yeah. So we are. We will get right into it, but we will take a break first. But we are talking about Ina and her book, amongst a lot of other things. But for our first break, time is no mission, which for no man. Let's go. This is Byron Cage. James. Byron James.
He was in a gospel mood.
I've been to a lot of church. A lot of church. This is Byron James. Time mission. Machine. He said mission.
The love and respect you always gave me. There's no greater person than you.
I had my chance, but now you have a new man, but I still love you. If I could take it all back, I would relive my past and never hurt you. Cause now I'm feeling the rain, the pain, the shame, because of the games I tried to play. I was so foolish. Oh yeah. Now I'm counting the seconds, hours, days since I felt your love, a sweet embrace. I was so stupid, cause I had you right here. Never should have let you go. What was I thinking? It's too late, my girl, now I know. I wish I had a time machine, cause I would go back and die. Like you to be loved. If I had a time machine, baby, now I'd be the one. Yeah, baby. I play your favorite song, and I turn it off, it's on repeat. Every time I hear the words, even though it hurts, it reminds me of you. And now I'm feeling the rain, the pain, the shame, because of the games I tried to play. I was so foolish. Oh yeah. And I'm not religious per se, but I'm asking the Lord to bring you back to me. I was so stupid, cause I had you right here. I never should have let you go. What was I thinking? It's too late, my girl, now I know. I wish I had a time machine, cause I would go back and die. Love you like you needed to be loved. If I had a time machine, baby, now I'd be the one. Yeah, baby. I wish I was the one waking up to you each morning after making love. just to make things right. What was I thinking? It's too late, but now I know. I wish I had a time machine, 'cause I would go back and die. Like you, love you, like you. If I had a time machine, baby, now I'd be the everything. Yeah, baby.
I like that. Time Machine by Mr. Byron James. Friend to the show. What you want me to do? Push this up? I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying, Chris. I don't know what you're saying, Chris.
Chair behind you, girl.
Oh, somebody. Oh, well, we'll move that on the next break. So we're about to get into it. This is Monday Night Love Sessions. Again, I'm your girl, Akilah Trinae. I am tremendously excited about our guest today, and you know how I always do. Those of you who tune in, I got to give you the background so you understand who we have. So, Miss Ayana Angel is a Cali girl who turned the Manhattan streets into her playground. Her blog, Life According to Her, is a space where she talks relationships, career, and travel. This sassy storyteller is a former sports entertainment publicist at the National Basketball Association, NBA. She handled PR for the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game and NBA All-Star Red Carpet, as well as special PR initiatives for celebrity athletes such as Amari Stoudemire, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, and Kyrie Irving. Dating in New York, coveted careers, complicated relationships, and ultimate deception are just a few of the highlights from Angel's debut novel, Preseason Love. Angel is a curator for Travel Noir. Her freelance writing has been featured on Essence.com, XOJane.com, SingleBlackMale.org, ClutchMagonline.com, FromAWildFlower.com, and JointInterest.com, among others. Angel has a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Marketing from California State University, Long Beach. With more than 10 years of experience in the entertainment industry, Angel is a sought-after insider grooming clients in the areas of professional development and small business marketing. Now, I love to read, and I love when it's other young African American, especially women, who are writing and doing their thing. So, U-Nation Radio family, Monday Night Love Sessions, please help me welcome to the show, Miss Ayana Angel.
Woo! Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. Yes, girl. Yes.
Hey.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. We are good in here.
Good.
Well, we want to just kind of jump into it, get to know a little bit about you and your career before we talk about the book per se. Now, one of the things that I was able to really connect with you on, and I didn't even get to share this with you when we talked earlier, but before, so I'm a teacher, but before becoming a teacher, I used to work as a publicist. And so even when I was reading the book, I was like, oh my God, brings back memories.
Right.
But I want to know what life was like for you as an NBA publicist.
It was crazy. Being a publicist with the NBA is a 24-hour job. You have a iPhone, you have a laptop, you are always on call, and
24/7, huh? Oh,
yeah, it's 24/7. So a lot of the times people are like, oh, the NBA, that's so cool. And it is cool, but it's definitely work, and it's just like any other corporate gig. You know, it has its ups and downs, and, it's still PR. It's still
right.
PR. You're still accountable. All the players, although you don't work with them individually every day, all of the teams and all of the players are almost like your clients. So go figure. You know, it can be a lot of work, and it can be challenging at times, but it can also be a fun gig when you get to do things like All-Star and go to travel for finals and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. It's a ride for sure.
Well, now speaking of All-Star Weekend, so All-Star Weekend is coming up, and I hate the fact that they do it around Valentine's Day. Like, I understand it because I get the two holidays, Friday and Monday, But you know,
What?
it's
Special?
yes, I get the two. How that's the joy of being a
President's
teacher.
Day and Lincoln.
But I want to know, can you tell us anything like maybe juicy or something that happens on the inside during All-Star Weekend that as people who don't get to, we're not privy
Yeah.
to be behind the scenes
Oh no.
that we might know?
I don't know. If there's
Don't get her sued.
juicy, right?
I want to know.
I don't know if there's anything juicy, but I will say that this is one thing that I noticed that just always stuck out to me. After one particular player, and I won't name his name, but after he got caught up in a situation with some young ladies or a young lady, and there was this big media thing about it, I noticed that after the games, his wife would be sitting right outside the locker room. And no other wives will be outside the locker room. And you're not even supposed to be there. They're all supposed to be in a certain area, and they wait until the guys are done changing, and then they come out. And she was the only one sitting there in a chair that you could tell was not supposed to be there. And she was just waiting.
Yeah, she was definitely making sure. She was checking.
She said this will happen one time, but it will not happen again on my watch.
Exactly. I kind of feel like if I had to be a basketball wife, like I would really want to go on the road. Like, why can't I go on the road? Take me on the road with you. What you hiding on the road?
You'd be like Jackie Christie then, right?
Right.
No,
No. I don't want to be. I don't want to be
wrong
connected
with her for real. No, nobody want to be like that one. No.
Right. I mean, I think that was,
She
that
not
was
bad?
a bit much.
Yeah.
Right.
But you could kind of understand why she would do some of the things that she would do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally understand it.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to be asking all the questions. I have more questions. You know what I mean?
So what made you go from being a publicist to being, to writing your own articles, to writing your own books? Like, what inspired you to do that?
Writing the stories and the articles for different websites, that was sort of like the natural transition before actually releasing Preseason Love. So I did that, and at the same time I was writing Preseason Love or finishing up Preseason Love. And I had always been a writer. Writing just comes with the territory when you do PR. If you call yourself a publicist and you don't know how to craft press releases and talking points and things of that nature, then you're probably not a well-trained publicist. I'm sorry. So that's just always been a part of the game, but I always gravitated to creative writing. So it was sort of like a natural fit for me, especially when I started thinking like, okay, what do I want to do next? I want to switch it up. What do I want to do? And that since it came naturally, I overlooked it for a while, but eventually I sort of like thought, okay, maybe you should try this. Maybe you should tap back into it and just see what you can make of it. So,
Were you afraid? Like, were you afraid to even just take that step?
a little, because I've always been known for being a publicist. I've been doing PR since I graduated from college. So it was a little hesitation in sort of like maybe people's reception to me being an author, like, oh, who does she think she is writing a book? Or, like that kind of thing. But I just had to get out of my own head, and trust me, there's been plenty of days where I have to talk, myself out of the situation where you start kind of like stifling yourself on account of what other people may think or what other people may say, or, or what might or might not happen. I just finally was just like, you know what? I gotta live. So
absolutely,
I just, did what made me happy, basically, and tried it.
Now you talk about having to live and kind of taking that step. I read somewhere where you're talking about a trip that you took, and then the transition from being a publicist to being a writer, and you were talking about the passion, not having that same passion for PR anymore, but kind of finding that in writing. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, actually, I spent 4 months in London traveling around. And it was a decision that I made once I finished the novel, because I felt like I knew New York. I had those experiences. I could always go back, and I just wanted something different. I wanted something new. And for me, I planned to write the whole time that I was like in London, but that didn't exactly work out because I wanted to experience stuff as well. So, but for me, writing sort of like gave me that refresher that I needed when I got bored with the PR gig and just kind of felt like, okay, my creativity is not being used to its full potential. And I used to have a jewelry line as well, and it was Crux Jewelry, and that did really well for me, but my business partner and I, we decided to sort of like go in another direction. So I felt like I needed that next thing that was going to allow me that creative outlet, and writing served that purpose for me. So it made me happy.
That's awesome.
Well, speaking of your writing, you actually answered one of the questions. But what has been the critique, backlash, if any? How has that been? And what is the next step for Ayana Angel?
The critique from just like the general audience?
General audience, peers, the critics.
The critics.
Well, actually, everything's been really positive. I've gotten like a lot of support from old coworkers and coworkers / friends, and those who are not exactly friends, but yes, old coworkers. Everybody's been extremely supportive. Just the general public, people that know me, people that don't know me, friends and family. Surprisingly, everyone has been really, really supportive. People are like, pushing me, saying they're so proud of me, wanting to see me continue, curious about what's next. So that's a good feeling, especially when you're stepping out there and you're trying something new and you're not really sure how it's going to pan out. So it's been nothing but positive. I can't say that I've received anything negative thus far. And I feel like I'm generally a positive person, so I try to give that, and I don't have enemies. Like, I'm not that person. You will never hear me talking about my haters or anything like that, because if I have them, I don't know about them, okay? I don't know them. And so for me, I just feel like I try and put out positive energy, and I try and uplift other people, and I just, I feel like I've been receiving the same back in return, so I can't complain. And for what's next? What's next is another book. I'm going to do a novella that I'm actually working on, and the novella is it's shorter than a novel, a traditional novel. So that'll come out next, and then I'm going to do a follow-up to Preseason Love. And the novella does tie into Preseason Love as well.
Okay.
Okay, so as a writer with a creative mind, was part of your apprehension about putting your work out, was that worried about whatever it is you wrote being or not being indicative of actually who you were, and it just being a creation full of fiction mixed with nonfiction, or just satire being expressed or manifesting? Because I know a lot of people Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, for me, I didn't really have the apprehension about it actually coming out until it was like almost out there. Until like I was going back and forth with my editor, and I was realizing, okay, this is a reality now. Like, this is really coming out. People are going to read this, and it's almost like you're inviting people into your head, because no matter whether it's fact or fiction that you're writing about, it's still coming from you. It's still coming from your mind, the way you craft everything, the way you put things together. And especially with fiction, it's coming from your creative mind. So you are open to judgment. You're open to what people think. You're open to just everything and criticism. And I think for a second, I was a little nervous. And then I was like, you can't stop this now. So you can't even be nervous. Like, just forget about it, whatever. And I did have some people that read the book, and they're like, ooh, Angel, and this and that, But I mean, like, namely my grandmother read it, and she was like, oh, I look at you in a different light.
That's funny. That's funny.
No.
Funny.
But I mean, she's not exactly my intended audience either, so it's okay.
Right.
So did you have to worry about the reverse of the reason why you left. You left PR work because it was too much structure. And then once you start writing, did your old PR come into your writing? Your old PR structure?
My old PR and my just marketing background, all of that, it's in me every day. I mean, I'm trained. It won't leave me because it's just who I am. It's how I think. It's how I operate. And that's one of the reasons that I created one of the other things that I'm working on that's coming up, the Encouragement Project with Ayana Angel, because a lot of people come to me and they want to know how I do what I do, you know, and different things like that. And a part of it is it just comes naturally because it's a part of my training. So sometimes I do fall into that more structured mindset, but I'm trying to shake that because, like you said, that's why I sort of left like that corporate world, so I can have that freedom and just really be me and do me. So I'm really still going through the process of totally embracing that and you know, working through the kinks and whatnot, but I'm loving it. So
I want to tell you this, Ayana, you are definitely on point because you can take Detroit's questions, and you're just now meeting Detroit, but his questions are always all over the place.
And you
know how to take it and process it and give your answer. So I know you're good at what you do. I'm telling you, you are good at what you do. We all look at him like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I got it. I know exactly what he's trying to say. Here's my answer. So I commend you. But I really, really, really want to let people know about this book, Preseason Love. Once you kind of reached out to us, I said, hey, again, I love to read. So I said, hey, let me go and get the book. So I picked up the book. I have my own copy, Preseason Love. I read it cover to cover. I really enjoyed the book. But I want you to tell our audience and the people about the book. I know you can't give everything away, and of course we wouldn't want you to because we want them to, you know, go out and purchase a copy and support. But what is your brief synopsis of the book?
So Preseason Love is about the story of Scotty Malveaux. She is a emotionally conflicted sports publicist who has a great boyfriend, but she doesn't really know how to receive him being a great guy because she's not used to that. That's not what she's used to in relationships. So she ends up cheating on him with a professional athlete, and there's all types of drama that swirls around that and insecurities and whatnot.
Now talking about us.
I'm going. She gonna pass that book on over to me, and then I'm gonna read it. Okay.
Okay.
So you're supposed to get your own copy.
I am gonna get my own copy.
And then, but for now,
right, because you just got me interested. I'm interested now. I want to see what had happened. Okay.
And I have one more question for you before we go to a break. Now, one of the other things that I am aspiring to do is also to write. And so a lot of just kind of what you share is just like, it's resonating with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like over here, like in my seat, like twirling around. But what advice would you give to someone who is aspiring to become a writer? They never written before, you know, a little apprehensive about sharing their creative mind and work. What advice would you give?
I would say two things. I would say if you are apprehensive, start small. Start with writing and sharing with people that you are close to or that you feel comfortable with. I know for me as a kid, writing was something that I always did, and my mom would kill me if she heard me say this now, but it's the truth. When I was younger, I used to write raps and all kinds of stuff, stories, everything, and I'd always sit in my room, write my stuff, and then I'd go run and say, Mom, you want to hear my new rap? You want to hear my story? And she'd always be like, go ahead.
Right.
You know, but, like, and that was not encouraging at all. And I
get a phone call after this.
Right. But I mean, it's one of those things where you have to start sharing at some point. So I would say start off by sharing with those that you feel comfortable with. And then I would say do your research and find out what resources are available to you, because that was one of the key things that I did. I didn't know the first thing about publishing, actually completing a novel, writing or completing a novel, a manuscript. I didn't know anybody who had done it that I could just pick up the phone and call and have that personal conversation with them. So for me, it was a lot of research. It was taking classes, and that's why, once again, I bring up the Encouragement Project, because so many people ask me questions. How do I get started? What should I do? All these different things. And one of the main things that I did was I invested in myself. I knew it was something that I wanted to do. So when I heard of different classes or different courses, workshops, I would sign up. I don't care how much it was. Yes, I would watch my budget, but at the same time, if it was reasonable and I thought that it was valuable information, I was there. So that gave me a lot of foundation for what I was going to be embarking on, because I didn't know what to expect. So from those different classes and courses, I was able to, glean information from other people and figure out, okay, what do I need to do and how do I need to do it?
That's absolutely cool. Well, thank you for that. We know that you're going to be with us through the remainder of the show. We just want to remind everyone the number 323-965-1600. If you have questions for Miss Ayana Angel, if you have questions or comments about some of the topics that we're going to get into, because again, she's also a freelance writer, so we're going to kind of bring up some of the articles that she's written before and kind of get into those. I'm excited about that part too.
Me too.
But Detroit, I'm gonna let you do what you do.
Anywho, thank you, Miss Ayana.
Did you anywho?
Yes, he did.
Miss Ayana. So like Scouty Malvo, I'm pretty sure he left us emotional, like Carl Thomas. Cheating on this man because she didn't know how to deal with bliss. But this is Carl Thomas. Ooh. We're listening to I Wish. DJ Rick, cue us up. Yeah!
Him.
It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Her eyes said it all. Long days and nights we spent until she dropped the bomb on me. When she said that she was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all. Even though I love her so, but she got love for me. But she still belongs to someone else. It hurts so bad, for sure, because she wants to be with me. But she cannot be with me. She chose to stay at home so they could be a family for the children. But what about me?
wish I never.
Oh, please don't sing.
Girl, you know I got them vocal skills.
Get it. Don't let her stop you.
No,
Quit worrying about what other people
the
think.
The clapping is drowning out the sound.
Really?
That was the really of that.
That's cool.
That's funny.
I just, as your friend, T77.
Okay.
You call that friendship?
Yes, honesty.
Okay, honesty is the best policy.
Yes, honesty is friendship.
Woo, woo,
Woo, woo.
woo.
I enjoyed it.
There
I
it
can
is.
sing.
I enjoyed it.
See, he the type.
To make you feel good. Tell you words to make you feel good.
He's
He
a
don't tell you the truth.
manipulator.
Manipulator.
Well, we're back. And that was Carl Thomas, right?
Yeah,
Carl
and
Thomas.
Key 77. We were singing together. You just didn't know that.
They did that.
Chris is on your side tonight.
Yay, Chris.
So anyway, we're back, as I said before, Monday Night Love Sessions, and we have special guest Ayana Angel, who's with us via Skype. One of the articles that you wrote back in November on Life According to Her, your blogging site, was the 10 reasons why you may not spend the holidays with the man you want. And it's funny, and I know, Christmas is over, Thanksgiving is over.
Right.
But I was just thinking about the fact that Valentine's Day is soon approaching. Ooh. And I mean, I was feeling like if you don't get no time on Valentine's Day, then you really
the side chick for real.
Not even
you
the side
need to
chick.
reevaluate and have several seats.
Right.
Several seats.
All of them. So I wanted to just quickly kind of go through the 10, and I don't know if our male host in the building has heard them, but I'm sure you can either chime in and let us know your thoughts. But before we get into the 10, what was the kind of inspiration behind this particular article?
Okay. So many women, so many of us put up with stupid stuff and we make excuses when we know the real. So I was just trying to give people some insight for some of the excuses that they may make and trying to kind of like put that mirror up and say, okay, so this is the excuse. Guess what? We've all heard it before, and it's probably leading nowhere. But I mean, I didn't want to be harsh about things, but I just kind of wanted to put it out there. You know how sometimes when somebody tells you a story and it sounds stupid, but it doesn't sound stupid until you retell it to somebody else. You're
Right.
That don't even make sense.
Right,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so
can we just end this conversation right here?
Don't be a hater. Be a congratulator.
You can,
because he probably couldn't
be honest and attest. And you too, Darnell, in the background. I know you got your earphones on, but when you feel jiggy jump to the mic. But so I'll read it, and then if you want to just give the brief, synopsis, you can. So number 10, he overbooked his Turkey Day appearances.
Yeah. So that's just, when somebody is spreading themselves too thin. He knew that he didn't have time for you and Keisha and everybody else.
Why you gotta use that name?
You press the button.
Don't be using that name.
It's okay.
What's the matter with your name?
That's your alter ego.
No. She's sensitive about the Keisha name.
Okay, there you go. Keep going.
I'm sorry. But so that's it's just cut and dry, just like that. He overbooked, and I mean the reality is all the side stories that you got. The reality is that he overbooked and he didn't have time for you.
That is so true.
And I think that leads to the number 9 of what you said, that as a woman you didn't make it a requirement. It's almost like, okay, he gave the excuse for Thanksgiving, and he was like, okay, well, this cool. And then Christmas time roll around, and you like, okay, it's cool, but you can't do this for New Year's because I'm really trying to be with you on New Year's. Oh, what? You got to be over there? Okay, it's cool. But Valentine's Day, that's my day,
Right.
How much truth is actually in this? Like,
that is true. Trust and believe.
I know that it's true. There's truth to all of this, but what I'm saying is, how much truth is in this particular relationship? Like, some of these things that get told to these women are true because we never looked at them, and it was never what it was, because we know women sometimes make things up in their head.
Really?
I was just about to say that. Yep.
As far as value and importance, so it's like you may be doing something to win me over that ain't got me there yet, so I never put you in that place. So it's easy for me to overbook because I'm still looking for that specific. But okay.
Well, and that's a part of the reason that I wrote it as well, because anybody's circumstance can be different, and I just wanted to call out some of the things that are common and that somebody may be going through, so that maybe they can see themselves in it and say, okay, wait a minute, maybe I need to reevaluate. Gotcha. Or maybe this is not what I thought it was, because you're right, as women, you can tell us one thing, but we make up what we want in our mind. And we may tell you face to face,
that is so
I feel you. I feel you. Are we on the same page? I hear you. But in our mind, we like, whatever. He gonna do what I said. I'm gonna make him think. So we need to stop trying to trick ourselves too.
Playing the mind games. And taking the truth for what it is, because one thing I've always learned is, a man will tell you point blank period what the situation is. Yes, he will. And then that's when we like, but nah, because he did this and he did this, but he said, like, I'm not trying to be with you right now.
Yeah.
How come they just don't listen?
Number 9.
They manipulators.
You want to do
the man still getting the mind, and that's why the woman.
Go ahead.
We won't make it through the list.
Right. Just so to speed us up, you read 8 and 7 and 6. How about that?
Number 8. He and his family do not celebrate. This is a valid reason for him not to participate in specific holiday traditions.
No, you don't have to read all that. I was just saying the read.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
No, now we really gonna be here for okay. Go ahead. Oh, my bad.
So wait. So tell me what I'm doing again.
Just
8, 7, 6.
Just read it, Detroit.
The title.
Just the title. Just the.
Oh, he and his family do not celebrate. He has never introduced a woman to his family, and he is not ready to take that step.
Lies.
And he is stringing you along.
Lies. See how these men are? They manipulators. Have you read the? See, Tyrese told me not to trust these men. He told me I shouldn't listen. All right.
Yes. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but I was just, like I said, I was just trying to outline some of the more common ones that I feel like we run across.
Yes.
Right. So 5, you're not actually his girlfriend. 4, his baby mama will be there, and his mom likes her. I thought that was a cold one.
That's the coldest one on the paper.
That might be true.
It is true.
Yeah, exactly. That might
That's
be
what
true.
happens.
But instead of
sad.
instead of manning up and saying that, he can't say that, so he just has to fake on you.
Right.
What is he gonna do?
That's some.
Now he has to work.
That might be true.
Yes, but I like what you said, that if somebody really cares about you, they're going to make some time throughout that day, especially if it's a special occasion. If it's Christmas, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's Valentine's Day, a call, a card, a text, a something to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. This day is special. Bringing lunch to the workplace, flowers, all that stuff to show that you care.
Right. I mean, this is the thing. I get it that men are simple creatures, but they're simple enough to know what can make a woman happy as well. And it's the simple things that can make a woman happy. So if that's really somebody that you care about and you want to impress and you want to stay on her good side, you will do exactly what you need to do to make sure that she knows that you did not forget about her that day. Whatever day it is, Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever holiday it is, she'll know, okay, he might not have been there, but he was thinking about me.
Right. Because Mr. Detroit was over here shaking his head. What were you shaking your head about, Detroit?
Some of this stuff, it's true. Even it's true, but women ain't the most simple creatures. If we are the most simple, if we are the most simple, then at times y'all can be, the majority of times y'all can be the most complex. And I agree. And the problem is, at times, it can be the simple things, but the simple things aren't either put out there like that to be glorified like that this is what it would take to make you happy, or there's nothing said and this man is left guessing. So when you guest with a woman, there is a wide variety of things that you can go to, from the most extreme and most extravagant to the most simple and plain. And you try to get into the medium between the two. And part of this does come into play with knowing the woman that you're dating. But then when you don't tell a man or direct a man, that's all over the world. Because not only do he got the people that's advising him, he got the other women that are praising after him, or praising him, or praising different things that would make them happy. Like, especially if he got a female friend, it's like, well, do this, do that, do that. Oh, I need this over the top, just that, and the third. So he's thinking like that now. And the whole time, you just needed a card saying, you know, I know you working for me. You just thought about me. But with no direction, sometimes we easily get lost. And you be like, God, it was really just this simple.
That's why they need to be paying attention and making sure they regularly check life according to her. My blog.
Right.
I mean,
there it is.
I'm gonna clue you in. I'm not gonna lead you astray. But a lot of stuff is told from a female's perspective. But if you're a male that's really trying to like be clued in, I'm giving you the female's perspective. So it's this is the thing. No woman wants to sit up here and plan her own surprise party, okay?
Indeed. I understand that.
Tell me about it.
I've done it.
There's certain times where you, like you said, what you mentioned is key, knowing your woman or knowing the woman that you're dealing with. And then you also have to just be a little creative or think to yourself, what would I like? What would I want? What would I feel special if somebody did this for me? You know, because that's a lot of times what women do when we go out of our way and do things for men.
Yeah.
We're thinking, what would I want somebody to do for me? And that's exactly what we do.
Well, see, here's the thing about that. With women and men, all we really
go on and on.
all we really need is appreciation. So anything that y'all do to show that, we good. Feel me? We are good. But
so you use the same thing for yourself. So women just want to be appreciated.
That's
too,
all.
But women are a lot of times appreciated through sentiment that are symbolic through gifts.
No.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
And that goes back to knowing who your woman is.
Not all the time, but to my next point, the other thing that's confusing about women are a lot of gestures and things that make you guys happy are similar to things that can mean something else, or that it meant something else completely different for another woman. So it's hard to gauge without. I know you don't want to be too direct and say, I want this, I want that, but it could be on a certain day where it's like, I thought she liked this and she gave me this kind of signal, so that's where I was at. But then the next day she kind of gave me that same signal, but she talked differently about it. So now I'm caught in between and I don't really know how to feel about that gift anymore. Or I've actually had this happen to me. I knew I was dead on about a gift, but because I spoke it out loud to try to get a gauge on temperature, she was like, no. You feel me? Like, shot it down. So when I didn't get it, she was like, you was on point the first time. I'm like, well, why didn't you?
Okay, so listen. Whoever that chick was, I don't know her, and no disrespect to her, but she might got some things she need to iron out, okay?
Right.
Because that's a little bit misleading. You can't do that. I mean, who's ever gonna get it right if they dealing with a person that's flip-flopping every day and changing their mind? If I was you, I would have told her, you take this gift and you do that.
Right?
You know?
Boom.
That
We need a boom sound.
that part.
Chris, boom. Like right
You
there.
got one?
Where is it?
Go ahead.
Not a shot, not a rifle, not a bottle rocket. I mean, that's
That was a shot.
We're not trying to kill
But I
nobody.
just want to know who you killed, her or me.
You gotta
No,
Hey.
not
Like,
there.
boom, there you
You're in
go.
the right. You're in the right.
Right.
There you go.
So what number are we on?
So
2?
Number 2.
So
He got his
yeah,
family
2.
situations is complicated. Who does that?
Well,
What's number 2?
There's truth to that as well.
It might be complicated,
Yeah.
and women dealing with that complicated situation.
Crazy.
But number 1, I like this. He's spending his holiday with the woman he wants to be with. I like to listen to Steve Harvey a lot, and he said it.
All the
He
time.
said it best. Like, you know, if you find yourself not with him on whatever holiday it is, then you're not really the one that he's with, because he's with someone. He always says, like, when a man is not in a relationship with a woman, he's still talking to a woman, communicating with a woman, whether he's having sex with a woman, like a woman is still somewhere around there. He may not be in a committed relationship, or he's really, really totally focused on something else and he's just in that zone. But like once he come out that zone, there's a woman somewhere in the picture.
We don't take time off from women.
Exactly.
What he said.
Exactly.
Y'all don't. See?
But y'all like to tell us, y'all.
I agree.
Like, ain't nobody checking for me. Don't nobody like me.
Ain't nobody checking for us.
Like, oh,
Ain't
that's a
nobody
lie.
like that's not the truth. We have to know
It's
that
not
for
the
it to be
truth.
true.
Exactly. It's
Now,
a lie.
You said ain't nobody checking for me. That's different. That's not me entertaining a serious commitment
Really?
somewhere else. It's
So
the
you
truth.
know what I'm saying though.
No, see,
Yeah,
that's the
'cause
problem.
you know,
That's the problem.
You know when somebody is checking for you, whether you checking for them or not,
Exactly.
or whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
But
You know when
but
somebody's
what's the
checking.
bottom line in this though?
That you're lying.
No, if there,
Well, okay. The bottom line is that most people always, men and women, it's always somebody on the back burner or lurking around the corner somewhere.
Yes, girl.
It's always some entertainment being had by somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody is safe. Somebody is on your line, okay? So whether it's the person that you really want to be on your line or not, somebody is 2 chances to 1 on your line, or you got somebody that you can call to get on your line.
Exactly.
So guess what? The waters are not just all the way clear. It's some murkiness in there, and that's fine as long as when you start dealing with somebody and things are progressing to the next level, you make sure you clear them waters out. That's fine. You know, the water can be murky until
sometimes it look like you going to that next level and just perpetrating, and then you done cleared your waters out and it ain't nothing to go back to. Then
yeah,
what?
well, you better get the pool cleaner. You better know how to balance it. Get your pH levels right. Get your levels right.
I just gotta learn to deal with the bottom line. That's it. To me, it could be fish around us. It don't matter if we don't have nobody on the hook. Then we ain't got nobody on the hook. You can sit in that boat all day, and if it's fishes in the water, that's cool. Was it fish out there? Yeah, it was fish out there. You feel me? So what we eating tonight? Oh, I ain't catching no fish. You feel me? So yeah, people checking for me, but I ain't got nobody.
eating.
You feel me? I ain't eating. I ain't got nobody. Whatever.
Ooh, y'all so trifling.
However you want to say it.
No,
Right.
this is the truth. It's not rationalizing anything. It's what she asked. Hey, somebody checking for you. That might be the case. Am I with anybody? That's a whole different story.
That's not what I asked. See,
they come up with their own rules and their own solutions.
323-965-1600.
So they need to go back and rewrite the book because
so she gotta
that book
ask
ain't
you
written
a
right.
whole bunch, a series of questions.
Exactly.
No.
Get to the point.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Simple question.
Not by any means.
I'd be like, okay, you come home. What homegirl you was with tonight? Straight up. Are you gonna answer that question?
Yeah.
What homegirl was you with tonight? See, that's a different kind
I
of.
was with X, Y, and Z.
And what y'all was
Really
doing?
gonna tell the truth.
Never.
She's not checking for him though.
She's not checking.
No. Her checking for me ain't got nothing to do with who I'm with, because I could be with you, but somebody else could be checking for me. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
See.
But see, you know, we're not even about to get in this because we trying to play house like Snoop Dogg. DJ Reed, cue us up.
Wait a minute.
Young Dash struck a match and the match went out. But it wasn't no more lights in the house. Check it out. Speaking of hoppers, play your game of it. Are you with it? I go get it. I bet you love it, baby. I play the daddy and you can play the mama so we can get down upon the living room floor. Are you with it? I promise I won't kill it. Put the cat on the loose. What should I do? Should I kill it? Yeah.
See, back in the day when we used to play, you wanted to be with me.
That's right.
And now that it's so right and that you want that man that I can see, I'm sticking in my background, picking up a hole for you to make your move. But no longer will I be your Rico. Let's play high.
The mama, baby. I play the dad. You play the mama and I play the dad. You can play the mama and I'll be the daddy, and I'll be the daddy that runs the house. Straight up. I'm in the shack about to. Yeah, we grown all alone, posted up in the back. There's no mistake. I can have the whole house shaking. Young dads in that baby doll, no faking. Don't get me wrong. Tell me what's the flavor of the song. You know it's dads in your when your mama ain't home. Ring the alarm. I got your buzz, loving me physically and mentally. I knew that it was never meant to be.
I know you know this girl by the name of Danielle. Body of a goddess, face from hell. But oh this wasn't the average trip. She got the bomb, and she like when the whole 9.5 oh that black groupie and all the hoochies wanna do me from the past to the present. Say what? Let me rep and present the biggest hitting all the hooks in your clique. Fast as lightning running through like the breeze in the summertime. Out on the corners making G's. It's the thirst, but I could show you something much worse than the thirst. If worst came to worst, but first things first, Brenda, I can remember how hot y'all be getting 87, 86, and yeah, the year a young man grows. Some women become ladies, some turn into find a way to stay with me. In the cut with corrupt, come and play with me. Yeah. If you wanna play with me, stay with me, play with me. Come correct me, you sound to me. My sweet baby, let's play. If you wanna play with me, play with me, play with me.
Thank you. You said who?
Jessica.
Jessica. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, I got back to that.
You fired.
Look, y'all can't tell me stuff when I'm hearing stuff in my ears
You
at the
fine.
same time.
And in your
You
head.
get what I mean?
Too much.
Shush.
I'm sorry.
So we're back.
Y'all stop me.
We've been chatting with Miss Ayana Angel. We were talking about one of the articles that she's written on her blog site, Life According to Her. And so I want to talk about one that's, I guess, a little more touching to Miss Key 77.
Yes.
That one really touched her heart. From singleblackmale.org. The article, Please Stop Having Children by My Future Husband. If you could just kind of give us a brief, just little overview of that article so we can kind of get into a couple of key points we wanted to hit on.
So the story came from just girl talk conversation, chatting with your girlfriends, experiences, people's gripes about different circumstances and situations. And then I shared a story where a man basically had a child, didn't tell me right away that he had a child. Once he told me, it was a situation where I had to decide if it was something I wanted to deal with or not. So knowing that I went through all of these scenarios and just knowing what I've gone through in the past, what others have gone through, I went through all these scenarios in my head, just like, do I even want to deal with this? What the potential of this situation could be? And it was more so, the piece, people got offended, but to me, it was more like, we need to be smarter as women in our decisions. We know how not to have babies nowadays. So, let's not try and trap people into things and make people be somewhere where they don't want to be.
For real. When I read this article, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go dead in it because I really believe, like, me, I'm a young woman. I don't have any children. So anybody that I date or I choose to date, they can't have children. That's just my rule.
Why not?
Like, when I meet you, I ask, those are my first questions. All right, do you have any children? And soon they say they do. I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's nice to meet you. Period. Like, I can't even go because I've experienced dating men with children, and it wasn't a good experience. And I promised myself that I would never do it again. So when I read this article, I was like, girl, somebody feel me. Hello.
So. A lot of people feel you. And that's your right to feel like that. It's your right. You just like it's their right to have kids, and not want to date you because you're a single woman with no kids who don't want to be bothered with somebody else's kids.
Exactly.
You know, everybody's entitled to how they want to feel.
Yeah, it's so much comes along with dating a guy with children. It's not just because he has a child. I'm very selfish. Like I like attention. So if I want your attention and you have a child, your child deserve. I'm a teacher, so I'm like, no, your child deserve your attention. Go do this with your child, or let's, I don't like to share. So therefore, I want you to myself. So I'd rather have a man that don't have any children. We can have a dog together, we can go take the dog out, it's a share.
The thing is, you'll never be number one. And that's
never.
The point. You'll never be number one.
Never be
At
number
least
one.
when you get married to somebody and you guys are together and then you have kids, you know what it's like to be number one in that man's life.
Exactly.
And now you guys have both together said, we're both each other's number two now. Because now we have a child that's both of our shared number one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So now you're in the same space, and that's the other thing. Once somebody already has kids, there's a lot of firsts that now you can't experience with this person. It's like you feeling all happy and all these different things that you're going through, and you looking at him lightweight with the side eye because you like, I don't even need to tell him. He been there, done that already.
Exactly.
What if the kids are already grown and they're 18?
I mean, there's different.
There's different situations. I've dated men with kids before, and I also dated. And somebody always told me that you call it microwave family. Somebody always used to tell me you don't want an already made family.
No. Yeah, ready made family.
And I got the advice in the beginning, but I dated men with kids, and it wasn't as bad as you thought it was, because they always actually gave me attention, or whatever. But I let them know, what, if you need to go take care of your kids, go ahead and do that. He had a 3-year-old daughter, but he always put her first. But then again, I can understand that, because if I'm like, let's just say 30, 40 years around the line and I'm a widow, or if Henri is a widow and then we had more kids and somebody wanted to date either one of us, what kind of situation would that be if somebody who came in? Yeah. Go ahead.
That's more so for people that are, when you're talking older, when you're talking like teenagers and stuff like that, that's a whole nother set of issues that doesn't really, to me, concern like a baby mama type of situation either, or a ex situation, because that kid is probably of an age where then you got to deal with a personality, another personality, so that's still a decision and a choice that you have to make. But the main reason that I wrote it is because all I'm saying is, for me and for a lot of single women that I know, single being unmarried, they don't want to deal with that. If given their choices, they don't want to deal with that. And I know too many women who are dealing with or have dealt with the mother of the child situations where the mother is not over the man, and then there's drama, and every 5 minutes, every time you turn around is something, whether it be the mom takes the kid to a whole nother state to live, this happened, or without telling the father and it's a big debacle, or the mom is upset. And in one instance, one of my friends, her and her now husband were getting ready to get married, and they told his son, we're going to get married. The little boy started crying, and the first thing that he said was, my mother is going to be hurt. Her feelings are going to be hurt, and I don't want to see my mom hurt. Why should he have to deal with that? Why should this little boy have to deal with that? Now, this is a situation that the mom has created because the mom has put her adult burdens of still being in love with this man on her child and involved her child. You know why she had the baby? Because she wasn't done with that man to begin with. So it's that age old, I hate to say it, but keep a nigga baby. Like, it's time out for that. We too old for that now. People know better now. There's ways around that. If he don't want you right now, he ain't gonna want you with a baby hanging on your hip.
And I think that's the part that I took from the article, as far as women and or men trying to find a way to like save a relationship or keep a relationship going by saying, okay, I'm gonna have this baby, I'm gonna have this child, which to me is absolutely crazy, because you're talking about a life, that you have to raise and nurture and do all those things. And it was one time this guy I don't even remember where I was. I was really, really young. And he kind of drove up and, got out the car and approached me, asking me out. And I saw that in the back seat, he had a car seat with like, it looked like a 6-month-old baby. And I'm thinking in my head, like, absolutely not. You are still fresh in something because the baby is not even old enough to walk or talk. So you need to worry about taking care of that baby.
Did you ask him the situation?
Trying to, it didn't matter the situation. 6-month-old baby. That means
priorities is twisted.
It's something.
You're still buying baby food and all the rest of the stuff, but you're out here trying to.
Priorities is twisted.
And one of the main things that I wanted to make clear is that a lot of women thought that I was being hard on the women, or some people I saw, they said that I was selfish, whatever. You can call it what you want. My main thing is I don't have any kids right now because I know what causes that, okay? So I know how they know what causes that, okay? There's all these things that we can do. As a woman, if I don't want to be pregnant, I don't have to be pregnant. There's things that I can do. So what I'm saying is there's ways to go about things nowadays to where you don't have to find yourself in this situation. If it were like 30 years ago, then okay, I get it. This is wouldn't even be up for discussion. But nowadays, there's so many things that you can do. That's why, to me, the onus is on the woman, because a man can't make you have a baby. He can't make you get pregnant. We decide before we go on our first date with somebody whether we gonna sleep with them that night, on the next date, whatever. We make these choices and decisions on our own. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't figure out how to not get pregnant? You could.
Exactly.
You could. Now accidents and things happen, mishaps, slip-ups, whatever. I get it. But those are not the people that I'm talking about. The people that I feel, are doing things that potentially impact other people's, futures, are the people that knowingly set themselves up and put themselves in a situation like that.
Right. Detroit, you squinting quiet. I know
because he a father, and he probably not liking what's
sensitive one for him.
Don't be squinting your eyes at me. Let me tell you my experience. Let me tell you this, the horrible experience. I was 17 years old. I was dating a guy that it was way older than me, and he had a child. He had a son, and I knew about the son. I would go out with him and the son. I'm young. I don't, enjoying the night. I found out that he had a baby mama, a baby on the way. As I'm at his house hanging out with him, the girl walks in the door and she says she's his baby mama. Obviously you're pregnant. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I had no idea. But I will be leaving. And I told my friend, let's go. I don't need to be here. So we decided to leave. The girl, she was upset that I guess, I don't know. She followed me home. So I'm walking, I'm trying to take other ways home and stuff so she wouldn't follow me. She gives threats. And I was like, do you understand? I'm very young and I don't need a man with children. And if you want him, you need to go back on home to him because I'm leaving. I'm leaving this situation. You don't have to worry about me anymore. But I guess she felt intimidated of me and she came and put my car on fire. So I said, Key, you would never date a man with children. Never. So that's why.
I can understand that.
That's why.
That's
you traumatized, right? Right. Terrible.
She was about,
experience.
okay, I was like 17. So she was probably about, I say 23, 24.
Okay, she was not mature then.
Yeah.
At all.
No, but sometimes women take issue with the wrong person. She should have taken issue with that man who was entertaining you.
Exactly. And I
that had
told
nothing
her,
to do with you.
I said, I would leave, girl. I don't
Look,
need no
you
kids.
were already gone.
Hey, I'm walking home.
And why is she following you when she's pregnant?
I know, that's what I want
Her
to
and
know.
her friends in the car. Well, I was like, oh, stop. It's not that serious.
All right.
So therefore, I'm with this article. I feel you. You touched my heart.
So, Miss Anna, you wrote this, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It's very seldom that we get to talk to the person who wrote the things that we discuss. So I can only speak from a male's point of view, and for a disclaimer, I am a single man that I do father a 3-year-old child.
I thought you was about to say 3 kids. Where did the 2 come from? I'm just playing.
How well do we know?
So, one of the first things you omitted the accidents. You know, the things that just happened. So
No, I didn't.
Well, it sounded like you did. Okay, but since you didn't, okay, so that's fine. So, coming from the male's point of view, the first thing I want to bring up is the good man's honest try. So, granted, your plight and your issue is with the women that you said quit having babies by my single husband. Now, I always say 99% of all relationships fail outside from the one that you actually are successful in. So, but when you're going into this, and this is about the good man's honest try, the man who has good intentions. When you're going into loving somebody, first off, most of the times you don't go into it and it just happens like that. So when you are going into this and you're trying to make this work as you would want a man to do with you, you want to go full throttle. So when you get to that point and you honestly believe that this is going to be my end all be all, sometimes, especially good, honest men who want to do right and start a family, no matter the age, whether it's from 24 to 22, although it may be an adolescent thought, all the way up to 30 and 40 and 50 whenever they're still having kids. When you go to make this gesture, when two people go to sit down and decide this gesture, it's a good, honest try at life ending in this matter. But as we all know, we've seen our parents get divorced after 20 and 30 years. We've seen people be high school sweethearts and not make it. Conversely, we've seen people stay together forever. But in these things, a good man's honest try, I don't think should be he shouldn't be ridiculed for this because he gave it a good, honest try when he comes to meeting you. Go ahead.
Are we talking about a man who was married?
No, it doesn't matter. It could be man. It could be married. It could be a man married.
Okay.
It could be a man married or a man for years that thought he was gonna marry a woman. Let
me break this down for you. This is just my thought process. I can only speak for myself, and whoever may disagree with me. To me, I'm not talking to divorced people. Okay, if I meet a man who has a child and he's now divorced, most likely, especially if he's legally divorced, not separated, but divorced, most likely that situation is not going to impact me the same way that fathering a child with a woman that you were in a relationship with for a period of time, or maybe not even in a relationship with. That's not going to impact me the same way. You know why? Because both of those people decided we want to end this marriage. We want to get a divorce. So most likely this person is not going to be a problem for me. You know, like the Will and Jada situations and stuff like that. Okay, Will had his son and everything already, but him and his wife were divorced. So now they can have a cordial relationship, the three of them, because there's no animosity, there's no secrets, there's no hidden things, there's no hidden agendas. It's just, okay, we're all co-parenting now. And what makes it complicated is when people are not of the mindset that we have children together and we're co-parenting. They're of the mindset that we have children together and you're in my life forever, and you're mine, and I don't want to see you with anybody else. And in the minute, and I can move on, but the minute you move on, it's a problem and I'm going to cause drama. That's the kind of stuff that, you know, and you mentioned different ages and everything. And I am also a believer that people can be too young to be in relationships. I'm not saying don't do it and in serious relationships. Right. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying that when the person that you are at 18 is not the same person that you're going to be at 29 or 28. No, it's not. No. So guess what? You might outgrow each other. So now you decided to have this kid because you're this man of a certain, you know, however you said it, but you were 18, 19 years old. Somebody should have told you to sit your manly ass down because you wasn't ready and you didn't know what you was doing, and you didn't know that this person that you thought you was going to be with, you probably won't even know unless you have a child with them.
Okay, so no different than.
But I'm not speaking to you. I'm just saying.
No, well, I'm saying it doesn't matter whether you're speaking.
No, have a seat.
You could be speaking directly to me or any other people in my situation, but even addressing the marriage and divorce is no different than somebody having a baby to marry a man and somebody divorcing. Not all divorces are amicable. You feel me? Not all of them.
That's true.
You feel me? And even though they may become legal, it doesn't mean that there will be any less controversy. You would hope that would be the case, but to me,
the chances are
the
that
chances
it's going
are
to be.
The chances, well, I mean that's even kind of skewed with a high divorce rate, saying how, because just most people are unhappy and broken up for completely separate reasons. You feel me? But even then, but to skip over my next point, part of the reason why I take issue with some of the things that are said at this angle is because to me, part of this is about the truth that won't vanish. We talked about women making up things in their head before. See, without a child, even though this man that you're talking to, there may be tons of signals saying that you're not the only woman. There may be plenty of things just saying, you know what, this man's cheating. But so long as that baby's not tethered to him, or baby is not tethered to him, she can always say, you know what, I'm the only one, knowing good and well that those signs are there. Now, a given man could be as kosher and be as mature about his life, and there be no drama of that on any end of the sorts. But because he does have that child, now there's the one point thing I can't defend is taking away the first time, because if you just want to have that feeling of two people having a baby at the same, that's not defendable. But the rest of it, not having a baby doesn't mean that. It just allows a woman not to know that there's not a woman on the other end that she can't take out of her mind, because they got to that point that he won't ever love that much. And so when you don't have that, you can be with the man that you love through thick and thin. But he's in every, just like him being booked on Valentine's Day, because he may not have a child, but you could see him with 10 different women every day. You could go through his phone and be text messaging everything, but you can convince yourself, because there's not a child there, because there's no truth there, to say, you know what, I'm the only one, or I can overcome this, or you be the one, and you use your trump card to say, I'ma have his baby. That's my only issue with it, because mainly my other issue is, we don't know who's not for us. And speaking into your adolescence term, that's like telling you at 10 to know what you need to know at 20 to know what you knew now at 30, or I don't know how old you are, but now that's impossible. You feel me? So if
I agree.
But I'm saying you have to live to learn. Fortunately, some of us can be counseled, fathered, or parented to where we can avoid some of these mistakes. A lot of people are raised by single mothers and they can't do it all. So
that's a larger point that I'm also making. We don't have to get into this in this particular interview, but our Black families, we need to start taking more control of how we structure our families and what our families look like. Our families don't look the way that they used to look a long time ago. And a part of it is because of the carelessness that some of us are exhibiting in the way that we do things in our decision-making process.
I agree.
We're looking out for ourselves and we think of things very selfishly, but when we should be thinking of a larger picture, and that is a part of the problem as well. Because like you said, it's hard for a single mother. And please don't get me wrong. I am not saying anything about single mothers. I'm not attacking single mothers or anything like that, because my mom was a single mother when she had me before she met my father, who raised me, okay? That's my stepdad, but that's my dad. So I know what it is to walk into a situation with a child that's not yours, and for a family to try and blend, and for everything to have to come together. And it's not always gonna work. In my situation, it worked, but was there some awkwardness? Yes. Were there all these different things that were new? Yes. So I know exactly what it is, and I know exactly who I'm talking to. I even asked my own mother, why did you have a child? Why did you have me with my dad if you knew who he was and what he was doing? And you knew you weren't the only woman. You know what I mean? These are real talk conversations. I'm a real talk type of person. And sometimes the things that I say, it may sting for somebody, but if it stings, guess what? It's because maybe you need to take a second look. And maybe I need to take a second look. And that's why when people say things to me, I listen. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm saying this because I think that it's not because I'm coming from a selfish place. It's not because I'm coming from a holier than thou place. It's because I'm coming from a place where I want to see us do better. I want to see people do better. I want to see women make better choices and decisions, because there's too many women running around here with multiple kids and stuff by men that are not even being accountable. And then we looking stupid like, oh girl, what you gonna do? Well, guess what? She don't even know what she gonna do.
And it's,
Right.
it's
You
making
know,
it okay in a black community, and it's
It
not
is.
okay.
It's like it's
not
okay.
But
So
here's
Your
my
little cousin come up pregnant again, and it's cool because everybody has kids out of wedlock, as the old folks say.
Which is
But
really bad. It's called shacking up.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
it's like I just feel like we need to be more accountable for our actions.
Absolutely.
And I hear what you were saying when you say that, maybe you went into it with the best of intentions, but I also feel like there's that lack of commitment in certain circumstances too, because maybe you said in this situation there was no marriage, right? So if there's no marriage, that means that you guys didn't feel enough to take it to this point where you go before God or whatever, and you commit yourself to this long-lasting relationship. So to me, maybe you weren't exactly ready for, if you were ready for the commitment of a child but not ready for the commitment of marriage, I question that. I question that.
Need
Now,
to question it.
what about in the
God
case
said it's not right.
What about the case and event where he was on that page and she wasn't, but you guys control who had the baby, as you said? He wanted to get married.
That's exactly who I'm talking to. That's exactly who I'm talking to.
But also that's what I'm saying. But here's what I'm saying. Furthermore, what I'm saying, because you're talking about contributing to the demise of black people. My issue is with people making mistakes either in true blissful ignorance or adolescent ignorance, having a second chance at life to do it right. What struck me about your story is this seemed like a good man for this woman in this situation. Everything could have been right except for the fact that he had a child. And just like a man coming out of jail with reincarceration, trying to reinvent himself and go about things the right way and can't get a job because of his record, even though he's trying to do things the right way, and we in the land of second chances. You talking about the contributing to the demise of our black people, yet you're a black woman that's a good man meeting a good man that has a child, and he can't deal with a black man, so now he's reduced to being a black woman. He can't be with a black woman, so now a good black woman.
Unless he came out of prison, he want a man.
He can't be with a good black woman, so now he's gonna go back and be content and settle and continue to perpetuate the cycle that he just left, in which you're trying to stop, because that very good woman that knows that she has a good man will not go and be with him because he has a child, knowing that this is full on what it is she needs and that she likes.
Disagree.
No, that's not.
That still sound like a shot.
First of all, let me say this: I didn't give all of the details of that story because I didn't want to blast the person who
right.
I still know them. You know what I'm saying? I still know him, and he is a good man. But at the same time, he was not a good man for me. You know why? Because he had a young child.
Yes.
And he knew that his situation was not over with that woman. As much as he told me it wasn't, because that baby was too young, and I felt like he was allowing me to get wrapped up and pulled, and he was gonna allow me to get pulled into a situation that he knew the full scope of, and I didn't.
Yes,
because I wasn't in
months,
that house,
baby.
and I didn't know what was going on. So all I knew was what he would tell me. You know what I'm saying?
And that may be the case in that given scenario.
There's still good men out there. I even have a friend of mine who actually had 2 baby mamas, but he actually was with a third girl, she's one of my good friends, and he ended up marrying her. They ended up having a baby, and now he got 3 sons. But those other 2 girls that he has sons with, and he takes care of them, but the other 2 girls that he had that had a problem with her, she tried to be mature about it. She tried to say, "Oh, you can come over, bring the kids," and blah blah blah. And they had a problem with her because I guess he ended up marrying her instead of.
That's the whole problem.
Well, right, but
but he's a good Christian man. I mean, he turned his life around, and
people, it's the people that they get babies for.
Well, people do come to the point where they may change, but here's the thing that I've shared before. If you're single and you don't have any children, and as a woman, this is something that you always kind of dreamed of. You dreamed of meeting, the right man. You dream of him becoming your husband, and you building a family, and you just having everything, experiencing that together as one. So when that scenario changes, you have to mentally be ready for that. And as a woman, if you're honest with yourself and you say, you know what, I'm not going to be able to handle being in a relationship with a man who has a child, because honestly, I won't be able to get over the fact that there's another woman who's in this scenario now, or the child is resentful to me, or the child, I can't raise the child as I would want to as my own, because I have another friend who would say, well, if I'm gonna get with a man with a child, I want to take that child and we're gonna go raise that child together over here. But that baby mama is not gonna be like, oh yeah, go ahead, take my child. But it's almost like, so now you're dealing with that scenario, and it is a psychological thing, and you have to be prepared to handle that with everything that comes with it. And if you're not, you have to be honest with that man and let him know that, because if you say, oh no, okay, it's okay, I'm good with it, and you're not, and you're resenting him, and you're telling your friends like, oh, he canceled on me because he had to go get the child, then you're gonna start to resent the child, and now it just creates a greater situation and a problem.
That's exactly the situation that I told you guys before, where my friend was engaged and the son was upset about the engagement because of his mom's feelings. That's exactly the situation she was in. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that there aren't any good men out there that have children, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't give somebody a chance. But what I am saying is my preference is not to even have to encounter that situation. I'm saying stop it before I even get to that situation, before the next woman even get to that situation. Stop having kids by people that you know you might not have some longevity with, and it might not be a long-term situation, especially if you're not married. Because with that particular situation, her husband is an excellent man. But do you know that at any point in time, she could have easily walked away from that situation because of the outside drama? Not because he wasn't a good man. She told him at one point, she said, you know what? I knew you had a son, and I signed up for that, but all this other stuff with your baby mama, I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for that. This is too much. She was almost at her breaking point a lot of times, and that does not change the fact that he's a good man. It does not. And I will not take that away from him. He is one of the best husbands that I know. He bends over backwards for her. So it's not about that you discount a man because he has a child. She gave him a chance. Normally she wouldn't date somebody with a child, but she saw that he was a good man and she gave him a chance. But did she still have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations? Is she still going through stuff? Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's why I make the statement, and that's why I chose to title it with that eye-catching title that I titled.
That's an eye-catching title for you.
You know what? And I'm gonna say this just real quick, because I know, Detroit, you're gonna say something. I know we run out of time, but I just want to say that I feel the same way. Like, if there's somebody out there, right, and he's single, and I'm like, if he ever has a child, it's done. Like, his chances are over.
Really?
Okay. But look, I have no problem with what you.
That person.
I have no problem with what you said, because it's true.
That person.
I'm not asking any woman to stay in spite of. All I'm saying is, don't do what you wouldn't do in any other case and scenario. Just like you wouldn't go into the next man that you just broke up. If the last man broke your heart, you're not going to go into the next one thinking that this one will. You're going to give him a clean chest. You're not going to assume, no matter how bad and how negative that was. Just because this man has a child, before you leave and you get to all these what ifs and what could and things that might happen, let one of them happen that sends you out. You feel me? I'm not asking you to stay past any point that's bringing you grief, bringing you sadness, because you got the right to not deal with anything of that nature.
But
until it happens.
I hear what you're saying, but I think what you're missing is, I'm saying stop it before it even gets to that point where I got to give you a chance. You being the single father or the man with a child. Let's stop it before it even gets to that point. That's what I'm saying.
Because nobody want to get hurt.
You would have to know the future.
Nobody want to get hurt.
No,
you would have
to know the future. You don't want to get hurt. Close your legs or get on birth control. You don't have to know the future.
You ever been in love, Ayana? Have you ever been in love?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever been in love and broken up?
Who hasn't?
Yes.
But when you were in love, you didn't think or know that you were going to break up.
You didn't, but that don't mean I had a baby either.
But that's not what I'm saying. People make these decisions that aren't rash, that are thought out in love.
There you go.
But that's kind of, I feel like that's her point. Like,
yeah, you
can be in love,
but you're not understanding,
which is fine.
That's not
but you
the
don't
point.
have to bring a child into the situation.
But I'm saying, if you got married, had a child, and a woman didn't,
what did I say?
I know what you said. I know what you said. That's why I'm bringing it back to what you said.
Okay,
if you got married and had a child, and he left you, but he has a child now, and he went and met the next woman, who didn't care for marriage or not, she don't care. You just got a child. You feel me? And he gonna sit there and say,
no,
but we got married.
If he's that type of dog that's gonna marry me and then leave me with the kid, he not even gonna acknowledge that he got that kid.
But
guarantee he gonna lie about
that. No, that's not guaranteed. But that's just my point. You have duplicative people out here. Period. That will lead you astray.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's why some single women choose to bow out of those other situations with men that have children, because they know that they can get cheated on, lied to, whatever by a single man, and they just seen other things and they're like, you know what? I don't even think I want to sign up for this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know
so
what?
Don't date at all.
You know what, girl?
Oh, come on, that's not fair.
That's not.
No, see, fair is a place where they judge pigs, and clearly we ain't talking about fair.
Manipulating stuff, you know? Ayana, we enjoyed you. Oh my God, girl.
Thank
we
you,
enjoyed
You definitely have to come and join us again when you are in LA. You got to come in the studio. You got to come.
Yes, because the conversation was heated. We can't even stop. It was so heated. Buy her book. Come on, everybody.
Season Love. You can get it where? Amazon. Where else?
Amazon. My website, www.ayanaangel.com. Barnes & Nobles, everywhere they sell books. Kindle, Nook, iBooks, everything.
Check her out. Check out her articles. Go to her website.
She's like, what's the website? Life according to her.
Life according to her. It's right in front of me, right here.
Right there in front of you.
Like right here.
Say nothing. Just say.
Well, we
and
enjoyed you,
my
Miss
social media
Ayana.
is at Ayana_Angel.
Check her out.
_Angel. That is, what's social media? That's all of them?
That's Twitter and Instagram.
Okay. And now I'm going to pick fights with you just because.
Let's do it.
That's just because I have no off switch. I'll send you a litany of emails too. Like, look.
No, and it will be long. You're gonna be like, okay, what did I get myself into?
I'm gonna have to tell you. Okay, I'm gonna need a second to digest this.
Right.
You got 30 minutes.
You're gonna turn into our next blog article. Detroit. This is what I have to say to you.
Okay.
Thank you. We enjoyed you very much. From Miss Roro, Akila Trinae, Key 77. I am Doncho Detroit. My man Darnell, DJ Reed, cue us up. This is Uptown Funk. Mark.
Right.
Who?
This shit that ice cold. Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so thick. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop skipping. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown